All right, so it's Monday morning. Good morning. Time to go to work. I thought I'd take you guys with me. I got a message probably 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, that I'm required on the floor today. I was supposed to have an office day. I was supposed to be doing a bit of a project. Supposed to be looking at doing a case study on a fella that came in last week. After a king hit and then a subsequent brain bleed. But I'm not going to be doing that today. We're short on the floor, so I'm going to drive to work and find out where I'm going to be allocated. And that kind of feeds back onto what I was talking about before, about not knowing anything about anything. Just like my training, I don't know what I'm going to be doing today. I'll be training today, but I haven't thought about it much. I'll find out at work today. As soon as I walk through the front door and see the shift going out from the previous shift, I'll work out where I'm training. So anyway, let's drive. This is probably going to be quite loud. This guy is very loud, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear any of this, but let's try. Oh, and by the way, this guy never starts first up. Is the E85, especially on a colder morning. Let's see if the second time we can get it going. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna shoot this video and see if we get anywhere. If it's too loud, especially a cold start, probably won't be posting this. But let's go get to work and find out where we are. Obviously, I'm not gonna be taking the camera into work. I'd get in a lot of trouble for that, but at least for the drive-in, we can chill a little bit. Had a 30-second period looking at yesterday's video, and I saw a lot of comments about my topic yesterday, which was balancing optimization of training and the fun, or as I call it, the fuel. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of variation in these thoughts from person to person, but I think over time people do settle into what works for them, or they stop training altogether, which for me is the saddest outcome of all, because if anything, over the years of training, all I've ever wanted to do is spread this freaking secret that I found. Like, it's an amazing part of my life. I certainly always talk about it at home to my wife, best friends. I'm always in their ear about all of this, and I can't really sell it. I've kind of failed to kind of convince people that this is amazing. And so when people do start training, and then eventually they stop training, I feel like it's a very sad time. And so the reason why I say all of this stuff, when it comes to training and motivation and fuel, is in the hope that somebody out there will hear this and be like, yeah, I think Ivan is right, man. I think I need to do something more fun in the gym. And it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5 type of feeling. It doesn't have to be, you come in here and get your ass whipped here just like you get your ass whipped at work from the boss. It doesn't have to be like that. You can actually still get the work done and have fun. But people have fallen in love with the optimization world, and all they ever think about is min-maxing, and until they stop playing the game altogether, and that's sad. Anyway, let's get going. I mean, usually I sit a little longer in this car because it doesn't really run all that well until the temperature gauge raises a little bit. But I've left it a little bit too late today, so let's get out of here. The other thing that I said yesterday was, sometimes we have ICU nurses come down, or nurses from the ward come down to help us in an ED. And sometimes they don't have the greatest time in ED because they just can't fathom a workplace where, you have no idea where the next patient is coming from or the next case is going to be. But the people in ED, people that have been around for a long time, my colleagues, we kind of thrive on that. And so just thinking about that example, we can probably conclude that there's a lot of variation amongst people. So maybe maybe all of the ward nurses and doctors, maybe they thrive on programs. Maybe they thrive on having very, very fixed, rigid structures, stuff that they can predict for the next day, 2, 3, 4. That gives them peace. For me, that is boring, not fun. There's no excitement. It's just a whole bunch of, I don't know. It feels like work. Well, let's say today I'm in the resource room. You know, I walk in, say hi to my colleagues. There might be somebody in the resource room right now. Get that hand over, but I've got no idea as I'm walking in. I've got no idea what's happening right now in ED. For all I know, there could be, you know, an external disaster happening over there right now. Not that they happen often at all, but like it could be anything. I have no idea. All I've been told right now is that I need to go to work and be on the floor. So I'm not going to be in the office. I'm not going to be in front of the computer. Which, to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy about, because I'm not the bloody type that likes to sit on the computer. Even though I have a pretty interesting project to do, and I really want to look through that case to work out if we've done the right thing or not, and how quickly we got the scans done, and how quickly we transfer the patient out, and all that stuff. Even though it's really cool, I hate the idea of like sitting there in the freaking office all day. That's pretty shitty. So I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of almost relieved that I'm not in the office, which is why I probably, you know, after this many years of in nursing, I haven't climbed up through the ranks, because a lot of the jobs in nursing, you know, more senior roles, it has you in the office. And you guys know where I stand about movement and medicine, and you know, how sitting is the new smoking and all of that. Like, I feel terrible when I'm, you know, in front of the computer. And a lot of these manager positions, whether it be rostering, line management, whether it be even higher positions, it's just a whole bunch of emails and meetings. And whereas on the floor, you know, I could be lifting somebody off the floor. I could, you know, I'm walking around all the time, you know, climbing into ambulances, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's just more active. I'm outside, you know, the environment changes all the time. I go from one area of ED to another. Like, that's what I love. I'm not made for the office. It's kind of, you know, yesterday it occurred to me when I was watching my son, I'm kind of like that in training as well. I don't like the idea of knowing exactly what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 months. Holy shit. It's just, I don't know, that's my personality, and you know, I need to be mindful of that. Sure, like when I'm doing the peaking block, when I'm doing that, you know, 8-week long PR setting period that I just went through, okay, you need a bit of structure, because you need rest. You can't just be, you know, freelancing it for life. But all other times, like if you're not trying to do anything impressive with weights, why do you have to know exactly what you're going to be doing? Okay, there's a loose structure. Okay, 2 days ago I did back. Yesterday I did chest. Today I'm probably going to do legs, but probably maybe not. Like, I don't know. Like, let's see how it goes today. Maybe my legs feel a little bit jelly. Well, I won't do it then. Like, I'm not going to force something. You know what they say? You know, what is it? I'm not going to force a circle into a square peg, or whatever. Or is it a circle peg into a square, or whatever the term is? I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to go with the punches, and if it feels good, I will do that. But like deep down in my heart, I know I probably will do legs. But just the fact that I don't have to, it just feels a lot better, man. It just feels like, we'll see how we go, man. And that's fine. Like, that to me is just fun. It's stress relief. It's like, if I know I have to have an assignment due in a month's time for this course that I'm doing, it's like, oh fuck, I don't want to be doing that, man. Like, even during high school days, man, I wasn't the best high school student because of the looming stress. It's like that looming crap over the top of your head that you know you have to do. It just doesn't feel good. Maybe it's that cortisol level that I'm feeling, you know, simmering in the background in my blood. That cortisol, that stress hormone that's just sitting there in anticipation of this work that I have to do. right now about this leg day today, I've got no cortisol whatsoever at all. I have no idea. I mean, if you think about it, I could be setting a PR today. I don't know. I'll warm up. It's unlikely, but I'll warm up, and if shit feels good, I'll go for it. That's fun to me. It's like really, really cool. This road is very, very noisy. The suspension, there's like no giving the suspension, so we're like bouncing around the place. I don't know if this is gonna come through at all. When I'm on the loudspeaker here, this little aftermarket thing that I've got here, I hear people quite well, but I don't know if the phone's gonna be picking up this. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I need to stick to the roots of the training program, stick to what I know has worked really well for me in terms of engagement and, you know, the fun aspect. And maybe somebody listens to this and they're like, nah, Ivan, this is shit, man. Like, this gives me anxiety not knowing what I'm going to do next, which I understand. Once again, ward nurses and ICU nurses, they have that experience. They're like, man, how can you work in ED, man? Like you're sitting there eating food, next thing you know, the call goes off and you all got to rush into resus. Isn't that stressful? No, that to me is fun. Like, it's cool. But I definitely see the other aspect of it. And so some of the comments, people were saying, you know, I get overwhelmed in the gym if I don't have a program or like a straight up plan of what I'm going to do today. Whereas I'm exactly the opposite. I'm like, no, I get stressed knowing that I have to do this, and this, and this. Like, I don't want to live my life like through a calendar where everything is just locked in. I hate that. It's just boring to me, and that's overwhelming to me. It's just you gotta love the variation, all of us. That's why, like, when it comes to a lot of this training business, you know, sure, you know, this guy got some amazing results doing this, but it makes sense why it doesn't work for everyone, because simply just the fact that of me finding programs rigid and unforgiving and daunting, you know. And then somebody else is like, man, how can you have like chaos in your life? How can you have chaos in your life, dude? That's terrible. Like, why don't you just, you know, why don't you just have some sort of structure? It's just interesting. And then, right, so this is just talking about me, what I like. What do I tell my son? Everyone tells me that my son is like a spitting image of me, right? Like, he's just, and he probably is, and that's why maybe we argue a lot about certain things or whatever. But me as a teacher, like, my job is to make sure my son is better than me when he's in my point of life. So, like, it's like the ultimate character, right? Like, talk about video games and stuff. I want him to be better than me. But I can't force him to do what a 36-year-old dad is going to do. No. I have to make sure I instill love in him. I think love is the most potent thing that we can feel. So if he falls in love with basketball, if that's all I give him, I've done my job. Even though I could probably teach him more if he just forced himself to do the boring shit, he'll probably stop playing altogether, because an 8-year-old doing left-hand dribbles and, you know, doing all the drills that I really want him to do, like left-hand layups and all that crap, that is boring, man, because he sucks at it. And, well, Steph Curry shoots threes. He wants to shoot threes. But even though he's shooting them from his growing up, like, he's chest passing it to the ring because he doesn't have the strength. Is that really beneficial for him? I'll probably say no. You're not going to get anything out of that. You're just screwing around. And I've said that to him many times. But then yesterday I kind of realized the smile on his face when he launches that shit from the 3-point line and all the excitement that comes through him. I think that's more beneficial than me telling him to do a left-hand layup, to be honest. Because that love is going to make him stick around for another bloody 30 minutes on the court after the training session. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be so freaking excited to do that. And what's better, you know, shooting 5 minutes of left-hand layups or playing an hour, you know, having the ball in your hand, dribbling around, all that kind of stuff, right? What's more beneficial? I don't know. You tell me. But when I started playing basketball, it was all about fun. It was all about spending time with my friends. And then after I get my ass kicked a few times, then I go, shit, man, how did you do that? And he's like, well, dude, I did a left-hand layup. And I worked on my left-hand dribble. I'm like, shit, I want to do that now as well. You see the delivery, how it's different? You know, so if you are really, really excited to go to, you know, to training, to the gym, and it's just you walk in, you've got no freaking idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea. You just walk in, get your drink bottle, have a sip, and then you're like, right, okay, well, I'm feeling like I'm going to do some good mornings. Shit, I guess it's a back day today. I guess it's hamstring day, leg day, whatever you want to call it. You know, do it. A lot of people are going to be hearing this and they're going to be like, nah, that's bullshit, man. Like, you can't get anywhere that way. Hey, man, if he has you coming back for 15, 20 years and you keep training, I reckon you're pretty good, man. You'll get pretty good results for training that long. Alrighty, I think we're here, so let me just park the car, get in this car park. What I find it interesting in these car parks, man, everyone wants to back their car in, and they don't care if they stop the traffic. The traffic piles up. I mean, today's not bad, but everyone's there trying to back their car in. What is with this trend, man? Why is everyone backing their car in, man? Just park the bloody car and get out of the way. You know, somebody said something insurance if someone hits your car when you parked or something like that. Beast over here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Good tuck job. Alrighty. Wow, what a racket. You don't even know how loud this car is until you bloody stop it. Alright guys, so I guess I'll see you after work. I'll be here in 8.5 hours or something. Yeah, I'll be here in 8 hours. And man, it's already 17 minutes. How the hell did this take 17 minutes? I have no idea. I thought usually the trip is 10 minutes. Anyway, catch you guys after work. And that's it. Oh man. What a time warp is ED sometimes. It's just the whole shift disappears in front of your eyes. You don't even know. I feel like I was here 2 minutes ago. Just walked out of the resource room. And as we were leaving, we were getting ready to tube somebody that fell off a bike and hit their head pretty bad, and they were agitated. And so we got to tube them, paralyze them, and take them to the CT scanner to see if they've got an intracranial bleed. We had a pretty good shift up until about maybe 3 hours ago. 2 hours ago, it really kind of blew up, and then there's chaos. Everyone just comes in at the same time, it seems. But anyway, now I get to go home, relax, and think about training, which is great. What? You can't take work home. You can think about it. Usually I like to think about this stuff on the drive home. And by the time I get home, delete, and don't worry about it. You guys are not going to hear anything if I do this. Usually I drive with the window down. And some of you guys ask me, Ivan, how come you don't listen to music when you train? When you walk out of a resource room that busy and so much stuff going on, a million phone calls happening, everything's going on, even just sitting here in silence is beautiful. I know the car's making a racket, but I just want silence, peace, to offset all of that noise, all of that commotion. It's the yin and the yang. The busier and the more crazier your job is, the more peace you want afterwards. This is how much water I drank all day. 0. So now I have to hydrate, go home, see what the family's up to, see what's going on, and then go from there. Let's get out of here. Another shift done. This is a tight car park. So this is probably gonna be a big video, but anyway, something different. You guys are not used to this stuff from me. It's kind of like a day in the life, in a way. It is weird to be driving while recording. Oh man. It's always like a whirlwind. You walk out of a busy place like that and then back into reality, back into just your normal life, and it's like it's such a change in stimulus. It's crazy. But what I love about it the most is that the whole day goes so fast, man. No one point that I just sit there and go, oh my god, when's home time? It just happens. You don't even know. U-turn, and there's no way to do a U-turn, but I want to do a bloody U-turn, man. So what am I going to do when I get home? Am I going to train? Of course I'm going to train. But what muscle am I going to train? I've got no idea, man. I haven't even thought about that yet. I haven't had a chance to think all day about anything. You know, sometimes I get through the whole shift and I'm like, holy crap, I haven't even thought about my kids all day. And I feel like guilt. I feel guilty for not like having a thought about them. I even, you know, but that's the nature of the work. It's like so busy. There's so many things going on that you don't even have time to think about yourself and life. It's just so quick. I don't know. So no, I have no thought about training. I've got no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go home, catch up with the fam, and at some point I'll get out to the garage and I'll go train. I have a feeling I want to do legs, but I don't know if I will. I don't know. I'll just warm up. The other day I thought about why do I have to do legs all in one go, like, you know, the belt squats and the adductors. Why don't I just do adductor day and then a quad day, or just a quad day today and not the adductors tomorrow or something like that. Yeah, I mean, these thoughts come and go, and sometimes I think, oh, this guy just stalled his car. Big stall. Well, like I said yesterday, the best thing about these type of training style is the fact that you're not really married to anything any day. All you know is you're going to train, but that training thought doesn't weigh you down at all. You are just whatever. You'll train, you'll get a sweat on, but you don't really know exactly what. You know, yesterday I did those incline presses, and this is now the second time in a row that I've done them, second week in a row. And every time I've done them, I've felt like this like trap sensation, like almost like a trap pump. In fact, yeah, it is a trap pump. Even in the shower yesterday, I was like, damn, like why is my traps like so pumped up? Actually, in the journal yesterday, I wrote, you know, is the incline press the best trap exercise I've ever done? That's how much I'm thinking about it. It's a pretty good exercise for it. I used to have a friend that I used to work with, and I thought about him yesterday. Dundas, he's not going to be listening to this. But Dundas, when I first started working, you know, in ED 15 years ago, him and I just became friends very, very quickly because he's another gym bro, and my God, was he muscular. Viet, Chinese dude, jacked forearms, traps, back was insane, legs as well. And I used to always ask him, man, how the hell did you develop such traps? Like, his traps would come out of his scrubs, like they were that big that they would come out of his, like you can see that there's like some mass, there's like a growth in his traps, and it was abnormal. I used to always go grab him by the back of the freaking traps, like, you know, shake him. He was shorter than me. Ever since, like, he's, you know, maybe like 6-7 years ago, he gave up bodybuilding and he went into the whole ninja, you know, training. You know, he wanted to go to that TV show and stuff. He did all of that, and so he lost a lot of the weight. And then during the ninja training, he injured his calf pretty hard running up a wall. He damn near tore his calf. I was surprised when he told me that story back then. I thought he did his Achilles. But anyway, he's lost a lot of weight since then. Like, he used to be like 90 kilos and much shorter than me, and like jacked, you know, and now he's lost all of that and he's a bit more kind of like into pull-ups and calisthenics and all that kind of stuff. But he used to always tell me, like, I don't really know why I have these big traps. Like, he used to talk about the rows, bent over rows, dumbbells, barbells, underhand, overhand. You know, we did so many night shifts together, we would always just kind of like talk about this stuff, and it's just him. He just had traps, kind of like how some people develop, you know, big glutes or quads or whatever. You know, everyone's got a body part that kind of goes all right for them. For him, it was traps. And yesterday I'm doing these incline presses, and, you know, he popped into my mind because I remember him doing dumbbell work. That's all he would ever do. He would rarely ever do, you know, barbell work. He would just do dumbbells. And I used to think to myself, man, you know, yesterday as I was doing it, I thought to myself, maybe it was the bloody dumbbells that he was doing, you know, doing all the various different variations of the incline press. And you could press a lot of weight. And yesterday as I was doing it, I thought, man, maybe it's a bloody incline press that really got him those traps. How that makes sense, I don't really know. Maybe there's a shrug component as you're pressing. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you're using the dumbbells in your hands and there's a bit more, you know, stability requirement while you're doing them. I don't know. But it's interesting. The traps really got a good pump yesterday. And today I've been feeling them all day. You know, traps are one of those muscle groups where whether you like it or not, getting a pump in the traps makes you feel kind of a little bit better about yourself. It's really weird. It makes you feel good, kind of like lats, same thing. It gives you that invisible lat syndrome. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind getting that a bit more often. Maybe I'll do an incline again later in the week instead of doing some other form of chest. I don't know. I wouldn't mind. It would be really good. Oof, it's hot. Should I keep the video running, I wonder? I don't know. Oh shit, we're gonna get going now.
sound. Some people call this noise, but to me it's, after a shift like that, oh, bloody beautiful, mate. Bloody beautiful. Very, very enjoyable. I wonder how the sound is going to come out. If it's going to sound good or bad on the speakers, like the engine sound and stuff, exhaust. I don't think I've ever done a video like this. Actually, I have, years ago. A car talking video. Excited. Driving video. Alright boys, that's it. I'm gonna catch you on the other side when it's training time. I'll end it here. And now, just chilling out at home. Gonna watch the replay of the Denver Nuggets. It'll probably take an hour, hour and a half or something like that. I love watching replays, man, because, you know, NBA games gonna take bloody 3 hours. I don't have 3 hours to sit around and watch. So usually when even if I've got time on the day, the Nuggets are playing, I tend to kind of start watching maybe like 45 minutes after the start of the game, and then I'll just skip all of the timeouts and halftime, because I don't want to sit around forever. You know, he's just such a dominates the whole day. So I'll show you. This is what I'm watching right now. Sitting back, watching the game. I'll get a feed. The wife is making something, and then I'll wait for that to digest a bit, and then head out into the garage. And that's basically you guys have seen like a day in the life. I didn't even plan to do it that way, but this is gonna be a long ass video. But and the Nuggets are playing so well. But yeah, it's gonna end up being like a bloody 40-minute video or something like that. But yeah, I'll be here, and then I'll get outside and train. That's basically every single day. That's literally what it looks like for me. I just go to work, come home, eat, chill with the fam. I've been home now for like an hour or something, an hour and a bit. Smothered the kids with kisses, watch the game now. By the time I head out, it's probably going to be like 6. And I'll think about what I'll do then. To be honest with you, I still don't know what I'm going to do. You know, when it comes to training, I'm still not thinking about it. I know I'll train, but I don't know what. Yeah, I'll wait for the meals to get ready, and then I'll eat that, and we'll go from there. Come on, Cam Johnson, do something, man. Cam's struggling. I thought Cam Johnson was going to be so much better. Turn over there. Oh, he's lucky he got a foul. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he's playing. But it doesn't really matter, right? Because he plays defense. The offense isn't a big deal if that's not the only thing you do. Cam plays a very, very good defense. So you can afford to have him on the court struggling, because you know the defense is always there. Oh, jeez, he almost airballed that. What a dunk. Peyton Watson. I gotta show you these guys. So this is the shot they can't miss. Like he almost airballed it. Oh my God, what extension. What a freaking dunk. Oh my Lord. See, I like him because he plays defense as well, and sometimes he'll throw it down like that. He just needs to get a good shot on him, and then he'll be able to play all the time. But yeah, I basically try and watch one NBA game a day, especially when the Nuggets are playing. I've tried. You know, that's the only TV bloody I watch. And then it's just work. Then it's just work and training, and obviously, you know, all the stuff we have to go to, all the events, family, all that stuff. But that's me, man. Chill out for a bit and train. All right, let me show you what I'm gonna eat now. Some fish. Fish. No, have we got lemon on this? Ooh, it's hot. I want some lemon on this. Let me get some lemon. Yeah, there's no lemon. No lemon. Lemon would really go nice with this, but anyway. None for me. I feel so sad for the Pacers, man. Cali going down is a tragedy. Now the whole year is going to shit. Alright. I'll leave this and then I'll get to training. 45 minutes now, something like that. Alright, it's been about an hour or so since I've eaten. I'm gonna put some shoes on, but I just want to let you guys know that we're down to two large left. Unbelievable, man. Sent one this morning, and soon one box disappears. There's still a whole stack of, there's about like 30, 25, something like that, of the mediums, and there's about 45, I want to say, of the extra large. So things are moving well. You guys are amazing, as always. I always say the support has been incredible, especially in the last week or so. And the conversations with the manufacturers is ongoing. I think I'm pretty close with getting a sample from a manufacturer in the length and the weight. That's the only thing I'm not sure about, the weight of it. I've got some bands and home, and they're like between 11 kilos and I think 20 odd kilos, something like that. I think that's way too heavy, way too heavy. I think I'm gonna start off with about 10 kilos, get the band in the right length, and then I'm gonna go from there and see, if it feels good or whatnot. So the conversations are happening. I've sent them my logo, I've sent them the design that I wanted. And so now it's just a matter of getting the sample to me, and so I can give it a play and see, if how it feels and whatnot. Hopefully, if it feels good, then we'll progress, and then I'll have to work out like what sort of progression I'm gonna have, like how heavy do you want to go with it. But I feel like the length is the most important, because if your legs are not in a good position, what's the point of fighting a position that you're not in a good position? So I want to get into a good position and then have a bit of resistance to stay in there. That's the key. The bands that I have right now do not even allow me to get into that good position. So I need to sort this out. Hopefully I can work it out. Anyway, let me put some shoes on and we'll get training. This is a long video, very long video. But this is kind of what I had to get through to get to the training. I think a lot of these videos that I put out don't really represent, real life. And my life is pretty much the same as yours. I go to the hospital, you might go to a factory or an office or, some other place where people work, construction sites, all that kind of stuff. But we all kind of pretty much live a life like this. There's a whole bunch of stuff we do to get to the barbell. And obviously there's a lot more important things than the barbell. I haven't even showed you, the family, the kids and all that. But that's reality, So when we talk about training and when we talk about all these other things, of course, it's important, but, there's a whole lot of other stuff that happens, and nothing is in a vacuum. If we talk about training as a whole, you cannot be talking about anything, no reps and sets and intensity, without taking into consideration your life. Like, what are you doing in your life? Can this fit into your life? Whatever regimen that you pick, at the end of the day, it needs to kind of work with you. If you're in university, that's a different stage to mid-30s with 3 kids, a house, a wife, mortgage, all the rest of it. If you're in high school, not working much, you're just chilling out with your mates, that's also another element. Also, the body's different. Body's different at 35 compared to 25, compared to 15. All of these things are different. And there needs to be a degree of variation, degree of, nuance when it comes to all of this. You can't just, cookie cutter everything. It's not like that. Sure, you can take direction from a whole bunch of people. You can take different ideas from a bunch of people, but ultimately you need to, I don't know your life, man. You have to take into consideration your own life, and nobody knows it better than you. We haven't even spoken about the personality side of things. Do you like high volume, low volume? Do you like high intensity? Do you like low intensity, high frequency, low frequency? There's so much stuff, and none of this stuff, is ineffective or effective. You need to find what's effective
for you. And that's the trick in all of this. And sometimes it takes a decade, man. Like, I started lifting weights seriously very late. I was lifting weights at 22, 21, 23. But I don't really, I'd go to the gym and just screw around. There was no structure. I would just, have fun with the machines in the gym and look at other guys in the gym, what they're doing, I'll do it. But there was no thought process. There was no, And around 25 is when I bought my, first squat rack at home, and I started buying textbooks, practical programming, Texas Method, all that kind of stuff, reading about Mark Ripperto, Pavel Tsatsouline, and I started learning stuff. And I started, seeing that there's variation even amongst authors. Okay, so why do I have to belong in this group or that group? And eventually kind of gave me the belief that I can just come up with my own thing. They did, why can't I? Obviously, you make a lot of mistakes when you do that, but, along the process, you learn. And I guess today's video, what motivated it was, I wanted to kind of, bring that idea home, that Ivan is not just squatting every day. Ivan's got a lot of things going on, and I'm sure you do as well. We know it's special, and I think this video kind of depicts that a little bit. I went to work, I came back from work, I sat on the couch, I did this, I did that, and still made it to the gym. Still did a workout, which I'm very happy with. If you've made it to the end of the video, you're an absolute beast, and I really, really appreciate you. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.